Hello and welcome to this presentation, Optimal Investment Mindset in the Crypto Asset Universe and Beyond, Part 1. Before we start, just a quick warning. Maybe you will learn some stuff from this presentation, maybe don't. But my main goal for you is to be aware of some key fundamental points in order for you to have a better mindset and be more prepared for the investments. A quick presentation about myself. I work as distress and psyche facilitator. Psyche is a technique to work specifically with your subconscious mind to align your subconscious belief system with your conscious needs and willings. So far, I facilitated over 10,000 processes, mostly online. I define myself also as crypto and DeFi enthusiast. And part of that is because, a great part of that is because I'm part of the Moyomix board member, as a Moyomix board member, and also investor on that. You can find further information on me under my LinkedIn profile. So let's start right away with the three key fundamental points of the optimal mindset: awareness, coherence, and consistency. And I would say that that works in all levels. I mean, about feeling, about knowing in your day-to-day, but also if you feel you have a mission in life, how much aware you are of it, and then how much coherent and how much consistent are you in your day-to-day life, in your actions, and in your feelings. So the more aware, coherent, and consistent you are, the more efficient, productive, and successful you will be. We have to deal in our day-to-day with lots of stuff. Family, maybe you have a partner, a wife, kids, maybe you have to take care of your parents. Wherever, family, it's a big part of our time in our day-to-day. Also, of course, our work. We spend lots of hours in our work. We can have also investments, current investments that we have to take care of. And of course, also, we have to constantly be studying new projects, new possibilities, new investments. Also, we have to have time for ourselves to just play, to just disconnect, to just regenerate, to just rest. So we have lots and lots going on. The question is, how much are you taking all of this, and how much and how are you dealing with it? So this will define your levels of stress, the bad one, and your satisfaction. All this is quite obvious, but again, my main goal is for you to stop for a moment and ask yourself these questions. How much aware I am of this? Do I have a mission? How much coherent and consistent I am with my day-to-day actions with that? So let's proceed to go deeper into some, I consider, key points. The first one is your character and your emotional intelligence profile. The second one is how do you manage and act in the situation of fear, and how do you manage and how you act in situation with euphoria. The third point is your priority core human needs, and finally, your stress levels. So let's go right away deep in it. How full or how empty do you see this glass? How colorful do you see it? In fact, how optimistic or how pessimistic do you consider yourself in your day-to-day and related to your life? Your emotional intelligence profile, or EQ, has a has to play a major role in your state at all levels: emotional, physical, and mental. So to be aware of how you relate with each other, for instance, in the social skills arena, how aware are you of your limitation, of your strong points, how you regulate yourself, those triggers, those emotional triggers that appear constantly in our day-to-day life. How is your motivation? What motivates you? What are you putting the energy, your time on it? How empathic are you with your project, with the other people? So all these are very important questions that will define how we perform in our day-to-day. How do you manage and react in front of uncertainty, in front of fear, in front of doubt? So as we saw in the last presentation of the Moyo Mix fund, we were dealing with this index of the fear and greed, how we react, how we feel according to the situation, in this case of the market. So how do you react about that? How smart are you, or do you act in the good moments? So because it's easy, we always have committed, I will say, mistakes in terms when everything is going well, to not really be aware on how important is to diversify, for instance, our investments, not only in the crypto universe, but also in other investments we can have, right? So how smart we act in order to withdraw, for instance, some investment and keep it in cold storage, like Nano, Ledger, Trezor, SafePal, etc. Right? So it's important we question ourselves all this, because it will help us, again, to be more peaceful in our day-to-day, and also be more secure and more efficient in our investments. Another key point are our priority human needs. So basically, we identify 6 priority human needs. You have them here. And let's explore a little bit each one of them. So by certainty, we understand the assurance we have to avoid pain and gain pleasure. By our variety or uncertainty, we define the need for the unknown, the change, or the new stimuli that we have in our life. Personally, that's my main that's my main need, I would say. Significance, the fact of feeling unique, important, special, or needed. The fourth human need, core human need that we detect, is the love and connection one. So a strong feeling of closeness or union with someone or something. Growth, a need for expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. And finally, the need of contribution, the human need of contribution, as understood as a sense of service and focus on helping and giving to and supporting to others. So in order for you to know, to discover which is your main human need, I invite you to take this quiz. It's a very interesting quiz. It will take you 10-15 minutes maximum, and you can find it under this address. And when I took it some years ago, it was quite surprising for me, because even when I saw the results, I was like, yeah, I know all this, right? But the fact that it was presented to me so clear was very revealing. So again, knowing this about yourself is a very important key point to align your actions whether they are in investment or not, but especially they are in investment, with your conscious actions, okay? So again, the questions: how much, once you discover your first priority core human need, I would invite you to reflect on these questions. How much are you fulfilling this priority human need, or how much you aren't? Again, this is just about awareness, coherence, and consistency. The second part of this presentation that I will make in a few weeks from today will be about subconscious coherence, so another important point. We have, I don't know if you know, but we have the positive stress, the good stress, and the negative one. This is the Gauss bell that explains lots of stuff. And here it's just to explain the relationship that we have between stress and our performance level. So we see in a calm state, let's say relaxed, that of course is necessary to rejuvenate, to recover energy, etc. Our performance or our level of production or effectivity is not really high. We need a certain level of stress, of attention, of energy, of focus to achieve this peak optimal performance point. And after that, if we keep putting energy, attention, there is a point where performance starts to drop, to go down, and then starts the bad stress, is where we are not being productive and we start to overload our system mentally, physically, emotionally. Okay, and this is, of course, it's very important to be aware in what part of this Gauss bell we are. Okay, how do I manage the main regulatory factors of the stress and the performance? How is my mood? How I nourish this positivity state in my day-to-day? How much peaceful I am, how much peace I need to recover from not from a struggling or from a situation that is demanding me. Again, the key points of the emotional intelligence profile, very interesting and necessary to work about them. How do I manage my expectations as well in investments or in other projects? And very, very, very important as well, how do I deal with my emotional triggers? Those triggers that somehow stretch my character and somehow make that my energy, I put my energy not in a good way or in a good point or in a good project, but in another ways or people or projects that are not necessarily productive. Why all this is so important? Because these regulatory factors are critical in the decision-making process. So better state we have, better inner state, better decisions. Better decisions equal better feeling and better personal state. So simple like that, period. There is no more. So being aware of all the baggage that I'm having, the exactly point that I'm feeling about vitality, about clarity, about peace, very, very, very important indicators of the performance that I will have. So mastering, I would say, two key points: security at all levels. Actually, we are preparing a new presentation about security specifically with another member of the board. But I would say security at all levels of your funds. Security about how you access your funds, with which device, if you have the, of course, the antivirus in your not only computer but also in your cell phone, if you are using 2FA, if you are downloading all the applications from the official sites, not using the Play Store, for instance, to avoid hacking. All these. So, of course, this is a critical point in all our investments. So we will make, as I said, a presentation specifically about that. So mastering security is the first very critical point. And the second one is mastering my mindset. So my mindset in an emotional and mental level to, again, have a better inner state, a more connected one with more vitality, with more clarity, with more coherence, and therefore having a better decision-making process. So I'm aware I'm talking about very basic concepts all the time, but I will not stress enough to keep constant awareness of this, because that will define the efficiency and your performing. So just we are coming to the end of the presentation. Just a reminder of some basic healthy, wealthy, empowering factors. First one, constant learning by implementing, by doing. Not only in the crypto asset universe world, but especially there, because everything is changing so quick. There are so many implementations. This world goes very, very, very fast. The growing of the networks is exponential. So to be constantly learning, it's mandatory. That is why it's so important, from my point of view, the tribe, that group that you feel you can rely, that you can trust, that you can share. Of course, we all perform in an individual level, and it's our responsibility, right? But we will perform much better always when we share, always when we learn together. That's why I want to stress especially this point, that, for instance, in our phone with the Moyo Mix, you have these channels with the DAO and the news Telegram channels that we are constantly sharing with you about our learning, about studying, about how we are surfing, I would say, this wall of this fascinating wall of the crypto universe. So yeah, I really invite you to really connect with your tribe, wherever it is. So mastering your psychology, mindset, and triggers, we just talk about that. Strengthening your weak points, being aware of your weak emotional points, and getting rid of negative or counterproductive attitudes. This is very important to really, again, preserve your energy, keep your vitality high, and be more effective. Remove subjective decision-making in your investing. Very, very important. Strategies like the dollar cost averaging that we have been talking about in the last presentation, or the monthly rebalancing that we are doing in our phone are examples of that. Again, you see, I'm stressing a lot the energy and vitality. This is critical, right? So without energy, without vitality, we cannot not only do effectively things, but I would say really enjoy, because yeah, it's about enjoying the ride, right? So good nutrition, physical activity, play, rest, recovery, recharging with nature, the elements are critical points. And finally, less is more. So just again, to be aware on how much you are doing, where you are putting your energy, because saying no thanks is very important as well. So being aware of, okay, this project is coming to me, it's aligned with my values, it's aligned with my driving force, it's aligned with my human core need. I am doing it with the right people, and by right, I mean the people who are in frequency with you, who share like this mission or who share this passion, right? So yeah, all this, I think it's very important. So just want to end to thank you and announcing second part of following this presentation, Optimal Investment Mindset in the Crypto Asset Universe and Beyond, part 2, center on how your subconscious shapes your state and decisions. So nothing else. Hopefully you find something from this presentation. As always, may the Moyo be with you, and keep up with the Moyo Mix news and DAO Telegram channels. Thank you very much.